Hello everyone, welcome back to health class. This is Nurse Karen. I know it's been a couple weeks since we last actually did a video lesson, but we're going to go right back into the flow of things. So last week was actually just kind of a catch-up week for everyone. So if you were all caught up, you just had an off week to rest, and if you were maybe missing some of the previous lessons, it was your chance to watch those and get caught up. So hopefully everyone's caught up. This week we're going to be talking about the skeletal system. So yep, that's everything that has to do with your bones. So with that being said, I am going to share my screen here and then get this PowerPoint started. All right. So like I mentioned, skeletal system is everything about your bones. Obviously there's other stuff included, but the main things are the bones. So our learning objectives for this system is, what is the skeletal system? What does the skeletal system do? What are bones made of? How do bones grow? And how do you take care of your bones? There's going to be a bit more information on like specific parts of your bones that are all over your body. So I want you to be able to name some of the bones in your body. Probably not all of them because we do have a lot of bones. So hopefully you'll also be able to name some of the bones in your body. Again, you should be able to answer these questions when we are done with our lesson. So let's get some of these first questions out of the way with a quick little introduction. So what is the skeletal system? So the skeletal system is basically a frame on the inside of your body. So some people refer to it as an internal frame. So just like the frame of your house or the frame of your car, the frame kind of keeps everything up together and holds everything inside while doing lots of other things. So the skeletal system, or your bones, do the exact same thing. There are lots of things actually that are part of the skeletal system. Those include the bones, joints, which is where some of the bones meet, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. The main thing that our lesson is going to be focusing on is on bones. The rest of the stuff you guys can learn on your own time, or maybe as you get older, they are a lot more detailed and more difficult to understand, so we are going to leave that for a future time, and right now we're just going to focus mostly on the bones. So another question that was on there on the learning objectives was, what does the skeletal system do? So the skeletal system does 5 different things, and these are the main things that they do. One is that they give your body structure. So by providing structure, like I mentioned earlier, it lets you look the way you do, hold everything inside, and do what it's supposed to do. Another thing it does is it allows movement. So it allows you to bend over, to walk, to run, to move your hands, arms, elbows, all that stuff. It allows it to do that. It also protects the inside organs, which we've kind of already talked a little bit about this when we talked about the ribs with the respiratory system. So we were saying the ribs protect our lungs, and they also protect our heart. So those inside organs are well protected with this little outside layer of bones. Another thing the skeletal system does is that it stores minerals and fats. And you guys might be like, what? What is that? So some minerals and fats that it stores are calcium and phosphorus. Those are actually the 2 main ones. And sometimes it'll store them within your bones, and sometimes it'll release it out into your body, depending on what you actually need. The last thing that the skeletal system does is that it makes blood cells. And we talked about blood in the cardiac system. And so some of those red blood cells, which is what makes up that blood that goes around everywhere, is actually created inside what we call the bone marrow. And the bone marrow are inside some of your bones in the very center. So inside those bones, that's where some of those red blood cells are being made. The bone marrow also makes white blood cells, but we haven't really talked about those yet. Those have to do more with your immune system, which is the system that helps your body fights out like infections, diseases, and stuff like that. So when you're sick, the immune system and the white blood cells help fight those off. So both the red and the white blood cells are made inside the bone. So that's pretty cool. So this is it for the general introduction of what the skeletal system is. So your next steps are to go watch the lesson video by clicking on the computer screen in the classroom. Once you're done watching the lesson video, I want you to complete the activity that is located on the poster in the classroom. Don't forget, you always have to click on make a copy. Once you make a copy, the activity is actually going to be similar for everyone, regardless of your grade. everyone is actually going to have a word search. So it's a pretty easy one today. So hopefully you guys can all get that done. And then the last thing you can do, which is totally optional, is get on during your grade level's office hours by clicking on that red live button on the top of the screen. Again, this is optional. This is really good if you have any questions, don't understand something, something isn't working. It's a good time to reach out to me. But if not, sometimes people just get on to chat as well. So I look forward to seeing you guys there if you guys all jump on. Bye. Go watch that lesson video now.